Hello, Abraxas here, and we're playing some Space Engine. So I just woke up, but yeah, so I'm a little bit tired. And it looks like we have a few suggestions from yesterday. Actually, quite a few. Kind of shocked. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So we have one from Andrew, and let's go ahead and just paste that in. And it looks like we're still at that black hole from yesterday with the giant star, kind of in the center of this galaxy here. And it looks like I'm not going too far unless that's a different galaxy. Nah, I'm going to a different galaxy. Milky Way, if I were to guess. This looks quite a bit like the Milky Way. I'm pretty sure we're in the Milky Way. What's that? Oh, it's a gas giant. That's another gas giant. Has a gas giant moon. Okay. So, he says the whole system is interesting. It is the closest procedurally generated stellar system to Earth. So this is the closest, basically randomly generated system. In fact, you can see the Pleiades Nebula. You can see Barnard's Loop somewhere over there. Is a Carina. Yep, there's a Carina Nebula. Okay, so we're actually very, very close to home. So let's go ahead and zoom out here. And let's just hit F2. So we have this gas giant right over here, which does not actually have any moons. Well, it has these little asteroid moons. In fact, it has a couple sitting within its rings. Check that out. Actually, it has a few sitting in its rings. That's very nice. Over here, we have a temperate desert, which appears to be tidally locked. And it certainly is. It has a nice detailed cloud layer. I can already tell from here that it's actually going to be quite bumpy, and there it goes, just rendering in. So the cloud looks very, very nice. And is that an ocean? What's this? What is that? Is that ice? It's quite possibly ice. I think it's half frozen, but I can't really tell. I don't know what this dark stuff is. Sorry if I'm flying all wonky. I'm just trying to figure this out. Yeah, I can't tell at all. The atmosphere is a little bit too thick. How do I turn that off? Let's just get rid of the atmosphere and then turn up the ambient lighting. There we go. That should help. It's definitely half frozen, but it doesn't explain the weird texture going on here. Definitely like quite a sharp drop off in texture. Yeah, I think that's just ice, just kind of freezing over the planet. Which, well, this is actually a very cold planet. It's actually negative 21 degrees for a tidally locked desert. So I guess there would actually be able to be ice. I don't know if it would be able to be under the storm over here, but yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, over here I don't think there would be ice, but up here, yeah, I guess that's kind of fun. And we have a couple mountains and stuff, and this actually looks kind of cool when you turn off everything. Just these like fiery clouds in the sky. But let's go ahead and turn back on the atmosphere. And there we go. Now it looks a little bit more natural. So, very cool. Here is our, looks like 3 layers of aurora. And let's just go ahead and reset our ambient lighting real quick. There we go. And, yeah, very nice little desert. Over here we have a gas giant, which does not have any moons, so nice brown color. Seems like that is the kind of theme of the system. We have a cold ice world right over here. It is kind of purple, no, pinkish in color. Let's go ahead and land on this. I don't think it, actually it does have a little bit of an atmosphere. Not very much of one. Incredibly thin atmosphere. And here we are. Oh yeah, it actually kind of looks Earth-like, atmospheric-wise. But you can see there's like a pinkish fog layer out in the distance, so yeah, it's a little bit odd. And you can see these huge cracks in the ice sheets. I guess these would be like fault lines or something. Let's go back out and let's check out this gas giant over here. I think this might have been the one I saw earlier. With the gas giant moon. Nah, it doesn't appear to be. It does have a lot of asteroid moons. You can kind of see them as a pan outwards. Any rocks just orbiting this thing. And it looks like it has a couple little ice worlds. Oh, it's actually not a very big ice world. You can actually see the hills and stuff. It's not actually perfectly round. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Fiction Ben, who has 2 suggestions for me. And one thing I noticed is everyone just kind of stuck to the whole 2 suggestion thing, so I appreciate that. Okay, so the first one from Fiction Ben is Frozen Titan with overview of our Milky Way galaxy. Let's go ahead and check it out. Also, thank you for saying that. Yeah, this channel is growing quite fast, though. I'm actually pretty shocked by that. I just started uploading, or I just started with uploading like dumb little Arma videos and stuff, and suddenly I'm at like, what was it, 370 as of this morning? And like, I don't even know, yesterday or like the day before I was at like 300. That's crazy. At this rate, it's like every 4 days I'm gonna have another 100 subscribers. It's nuts. But I think that might slow down as like kind of the Thanksgiving break and stuff like runs out. I don't know. But this Titan's really cool looking. We have a beautiful ring up in the sky here. We got 2 stars, it looks like. Is there any more stars? It just looks like those 2 stars. We have some really, really cool looking hills. I mean, check these out. We got like snow coverage on them, but they have like well, I guess that's the sedimentary rock texture, but they're like kind of reddish if you back up from here. And it kind of gives like the snow kind of a reddish outline, which looks very cool, especially with like nice erosion effect. I actually really like that. But something tells me this is a little bit too bright. Let's turn on the real planet brightness. There we go. That's a little bit more like it. So a nice frozen Titan, really cold world. Let's go ahead and get that off the screen. We're sitting at negative 199 degrees Celsius, so very, very cold. And it looks like just methane as the atmospheric composition. The semi-major axis is 54 astronomical units, so it is actually quite far from those stars. And now the ring in the sky, but very cool looking. We are in, I think, the small Magellanic Cloud, that we're in the large one. We're in one of them. We're in the small one. That's what I figured. So let's go ahead and pan back into this Titan. And yeah, these mountains just look really, really cool. Really nicely generated. Oh, and look at that. We have like kind of a ravine going on here from this river. Wow, that's kind of weird. How it just cuts in that hill like that. The river didn't actually, the terrain didn't go low enough for the river to actually keep generating, but it would have just kind of cut out at this lake right here. Which, the textures they use for it makes it look like this lake was actually, like, higher up, so that actually is kind of natural. Like, the river would actually be at, like, a slightly higher altitude. Before, if the lake wasn't so dried up. That's actually pretty cool. And over there, it looks like we have some kind of ice world. Yep. So, very nice. Let's see if we can get that awesome view of the Milky Way. There's the Magellanic Cloud. Ah, there it is. There's our Milky Way. Let's see if we can see it from the daytime atmosphere. Ooh, just barely. But as we get to the dark side of the planet, we should be able to see it more visibly. Yep, there it goes. I can see like a shadow from the ring or something like that. So there's a star sitting in the ring. So we're kind of sitting in the shadow of the ring, but there's our Milky Way galaxy viewed from this planet. Very nice. And a really cool looking Titan. Let's go ahead and turn back on the fake planet brightness. There we go. And very nice little cold world. And I really like the rings that are kind of generated for it. The next one, again, is from Fiction Ben, and he says, "This is a cold alien-looking titan with an ESI of 40%. So not very high on the ESI chart. Wouldn't expect a titan to really be, though. Looks like it's in a different galaxy, a very far away galaxy. Wonder how long this will just keep going for. Yeah, that is quite far away. Oh wait, we're there. Ooh, like kind of a beige-looking galaxy. Okay, so there's no life on this planet. It has a diameter of 21,000 kilometers, so just under twice as large as Earth. And yeah, the ESI is 44%. Sitting at a semi-major axis of 1.61 astronomical units, which tells me it's probably orbiting like a red dwarf or something small like that. Possibly even a brown dwarf. Where's the parent star? Yeah, you're a red dwarf. No, you're an orange dwarf. It's a pretty cold red or orange dwarf. Nitrogen and CO2 is our atmospheric composition. It's sitting at 11% of what the Earth is, atmospheric density-wise. And I say density, just in general atmosphere. And yeah, very interesting. There's no life on this planet, but he says it's a cool alien-looking titan. I don't think I'm actually seeing that yet, but I feel like that'll really show if I turn on the real planet brightness. Oh yeah, much better. It looks so cool when they're like dim like this. And it's just crazy to think that you're in like some incredibly, incredibly cold world. So the snow here is probably just frozen nitrogen and stuff like that. Or CO2, it could be frozen carbon dioxide. Then we have some really, really cool looking hills here. See, I wish hills would generate like this more on like other planets and stuff. This is like really awesome looking. I like the erosion effect it's using, but it's kind of like a rolling hill kind of thing going on here. Like there's just a lot of hills that kind of look like this. And then it just kind of like escalates and gets to these bigger hills, which is really cool. Just have like bigger mountains here. It has like a nice fade to it. It's not just spontaneously like in the middle of a desert salt plain, just spiky hills or something like that. It's just kind of natural looking. Oh, and there's a little frozen moon. And over here it just drops off, kind of fades off, as I'm saying. Like, you see this nice fade into kind of a cold basin right here, like a very, very big, just plain kind of valley between these two sets of mountains. Very nice, and then has a nice fade up into some larger hills. And it kind of does the same over here. Very cool looking world. Let's go ahead and move over to the night side of the planet and see what we can actually view. There's some very, very cold liquid of some kind. Possibly liquid nitrogen or liquid CO2. Not sure. There's another river that we just flew over. Kind of got some dried up lake beds, it looks like. And are we actually making it to the dark side of this planet? Come on now. We must not be. Where's the star at? Okay. Am I orbiting a polar region or something like that? Oh, there's the nighttime side of the planet. So it looks like we have another ice world moon sitting right there. It's probably going to illuminate our night sky a little bit. Probably not too much, though. It's a pretty dim world. So I think we are actually on the land. We got a nice red fade, and you can kind of see the galaxy that we're in. And I'm actually not really seeing any nearby galaxies that are just kind of close to here, so We must not be in a big, like, cluster or supercluster or anything like that. Let's go ahead and pan out and just get an idea of what this galaxy looks like. Oh yeah, it is a nice kind of beige color with, like, a bunch of purple pockets in it. Very nice. And no, it doesn't appear there's actually, like, any nearby galaxies. It's kind of just alone over here. Very cool. The next ones are from Andromeda. And, Boba Fett says, how the hell do you find such epic planets? I found one planet with life. One. Yeah, and then Andrew goes on to say, yeah, just run search. So, yeah, basically, this star search thing right here, star browser, filter settings, pick your planet type that you want, yeah. Basically define whether you want life or anything like that, and you'll find it. So let's go ahead and run this over Andromeda's IDs, and he wants me to visit 113.681 3.2. So I assume it's the second moon of a planet. I wasn't expecting that. I don't think you were expecting that either. We're being eclipsed, it looks like, by our gas giant in such an awesome way. Okay, so the time setting right here is 24/18/07/26, so July 26, 24/18, and the time is just 23 hours and 30 minutes. So yeah, if you actually go to that time, you'll see this on this specific planet ID. But check that out. I'm gonna leave it like this. That's an awesome eclipse. So it's a hot desert. That part's probably not too hot right now. Let's go ahead and pan down right here. Actually, no, it probably is. Wow, that's... Tell me that's not a view. Oh, wow. Oh no, time's actually moving. That's right. So cool. So we have like a little volcano here. Just look at that shadow. We can't actually see any stars through it unless we probably go into the shadow. Then it kind of probably... Yeah, now we can kind of see a little bit. I see that planet there. And that's just crazy looking. There's a Milky Way galaxy, it looks like. This is nuts. Just this huge shadow from that gas giant eclipsing there. And then, like, over here on the other side, we just have the standard night sky. So it's like cutting, or like pulling the pulling a slice out of like an orange or something like that. That's what I'm kind of seeing here. We have a couple hurricanes. Actually, we have a lot of hurricanes. And there's another active volcano, so definitely a lot of volcanic activity. And this is just a very cool world. Like, if we go over to the dark sides of the world, we should have, in theory, a really nice view of the Milky Way galaxy. Yep, there it is. Ah, check out that sunset. That's beautiful. The sun, like, fades off to a nice, like, hot pink. Very awesome. From right here? Kind of. So yeah, if we go into the dark side of the shadow here. Can't see it anymore. I wonder why that's different. Why this shadow is not enough for me to actually see the Milky Way, but going over to the night sky is. So if I go over here, I can see it just fine. It's a little bit odd. What galaxy are we in? I assume the Large Magellanic Cloud? I could be wrong. Ah, yeah, we're in the Large Magellanic. No, wait, this is the small one, isn't it? No, it's a large one. Let's go back to that world. And yeah, I feel like I definitely visited this world at the perfect time setting. I don't know what the odds of this actually were, but pretty crazy. And check out that beautiful aurora at the top there. I can see that the planet shadow is much more defined than the actual like light from the star just being kind of casted across the horizon. That's expected. I mean, being this close to the object, it's going to be a nice non-diffuse shadow. It's going to be really sharp like that. Now, I think it's a binary star system. Yeah, it is a binary star system, because as you can tell, we actually have 2 shadows here, which just makes that even more interesting. So it's like 1 star, 2 stars. You can see that little flicker of like the star just appearing when I do that. Just 1 star, 2 stars. 1 star, 2 stars. Yeah, very cool. So let's go ahead and move on to the next planet. Once again from Andromeda. And if I want to take a wild guess, I would say this one probably has life, considering that's what Boba Fett was mentioning. And here we go. Looks like we're in a cluster near the Milky Way galaxy, and no, it doesn't actually have life. But it's kind of like a blue Mars, I would say. Possibly. Does it have snow caps? It has a very active volcano. Actually, a set of active volcanoes. Ah, no. Give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. Game crashed. Ooh, look at that. Look out in the sky there. We have a nice view of like a kind of spiral galaxy, another galaxy right there. So maybe we're not, unless that's Triangulum. Yeah, it is Triangulum, and that must be Andromeda. Yeah, okay. It's just very visible from the star cluster. Very nice. Down on this world, and we can see this beautiful star cluster. It's kind of popping in and out of view. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Doesn't want to render that many stars. So anyways, we have some mountain hills, or like these little hills here, these desert hills. That's what I meant to say. With kind of an erosion effect. And that star cluster just is playing peekaboo with me. Wow, yeah, these are really jagged, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, actually, no, these ones actually do fade off kind of nicely. They're not as sporadic as other ones that I've seen. But you'll get a nice flat desert, and there'll just be like chains of spiky hills suddenly. These ones actually do fade off a little bit. Like, they actually do kind of just plateau. But sometimes they'll just be sporadically spiky in the center of a desert, and it just seems like it's weird that those generate that way. Go ahead and let that render. There we go. Yeah, really nice looking. There's our parent star. Let's just go ahead and back out here and get a nice look at this desert. So let's go ahead and go to where like the sun is setting. It's kind of bright back here. Yeah, it's actually pretty illuminated, and there's the star cluster. Now it wants to sit there and actually, nope, I lied. Hey, look, Milky Way galaxy. And oddly enough, we could actually see the, keep zooming in here. We can see the, oh no, that's not what I thought at all. Okay. I could have swore I was looking at the central black hole, but I guess I was looking at another galaxy through the Milky Way galaxy. Okay. Maybe it's because the galaxy, okay, it might just be the galaxy magnitude causing this cluster to mess up. No. Oh. Doesn't that look kind of cool? Check that out. Let's see if I can get that to like a nice... Yeah, right there. Right there, that's setting. Now that looks cool. Yeah, the galaxy at the render there. Wow, you can just see all those galaxies there. That's awesome. Okay, let's turn that back down. Yeah, I don't know why the star cluster is flickering though. Not the slightest clue. But really nice view of the Milky Way galaxy. And if we turn around, we should be able to see Andromeda. Wherever it might be. Ooh, check out this nice active volcano. It's like glowing very brightly. Yeah, but it doesn't even have like the coal or like dried up ash texture or anything like that. It's just, that is definitely lava. Very nice. Sunset kind of fades off to a nice like orange, and then it fades off to a pink, and then sets. Very cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Jack Morgan 101. He says, it is a warm Terra with a storm in a red nebula with an ESI of 86%. 0.869. So here we go. Okay, that is actually really cool looking, the red nebula in the background. Got a nice view of that. And it does have a storm. In fact, it is tidally locked. And do we have a little asteroid moon? Asteroid moon? Come here, little asteroid moon. Look at you just orbiting very, very close to this planet. I'm actually moving, so it's just kind of drifting along. Let's go ahead and pause time. That way we aren't lagging out the game. And let's check out this Terra. It does not have life. It is sitting at an ESI of 86%. Yeah, 86%. And the diameter is 9,200 kilometers, so it's actually quite a bit smaller than our Earth. 72% in fact. So, let's see. Sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and CO2. Or not CO2. I don't mean to say that. Yeah, there's CO2. I meant to say H2O. So, water. Got a nice, lovely detailed cloud layer, as is very common with these tidally locked planets. You see the glow of the star back there, and like just a bunch of hills. Very alien looking right here. This is actually a really cool view. See if we can get that star just to kind of peer between those. Yeah, so the star is possibly just a red dwarf. Yeah, it's a red dwarf. Look at how those clouds just kind of clip through there. It's just like an incredibly little thick cloud layer right there. And it looks like we actually have snow caps on some of these mountains, including this volcano here, which appears to be active. This one does have like kind of the ash and coal texture. So let's go ahead and check out the dark side of the planet. Since I'm seeing ice, we possibly have like a huge polar region on this planet. Maybe? Definitely do. Check that out. So yeah, half the planet is actually frozen, and then the tidally locked section is thawed. The planet's temperature is sitting at 40 degrees Celsius, so quite warm. And negative 18 degree. No, wait, that's just based on altitude, that's right. Yeah, it gets quite cold over here, I'm sure. Since this is forever just sitting in the dark regions of the planet. And there we go, there's our parent star. Just sitting really, really close. And it makes for a really, really nice sunset, it seems. I just landed in the water, it looks like. It's probably going to fade off to a very nice pink. Let's go ahead and go to the polar regions and check that out. Oh no, it actually fades off to an orange. Very cool. And you can see how that like shine on the snow there. Very shiny. And it looks like we possibly just have, yeah, we do have a kind of birth of a system going on here. We have a bunch of asteroids actually orbiting around this star, just kind of its own little belt. Let's go ahead and turn down the star magnitude a little bit. There we go. And let's just turn up the overbright ever so slightly. And let's just turn up the planets. So now we should have a really cool view of just basically how many asteroids are orbiting around this star. And let's just go ahead and play and fast forward. And there we go. There we go. We can actually see everything just kind of orbiting around. You can even see the moons of like this planet over here just spinning around it as well. Very cool look at the system. Go ahead and reset our magnitude and settings here. And let's just go ahead and move on to the next one, which is, again, from Jack Morgan. He says, a nice pink gas giant with pink rings and a colorful galaxy with an Oceanian desert orbiting it. So let's go ahead and load that up. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, I gotta pause the game. Actually more of a purple color, I would say. Do I have real planet brightness still on? No, if I turn that on, it actually gets a little bit dimmer. Not too much dimmer, though. Around what looks like a yellow main sequence star. Pretty close. And there's a couple of huge storms here. We have like this kind of blue one sitting right here. Then we have this huge reddish one, and a couple small substorms probably being pulled along by that storm. Very cool. I don't see any other massive storms on this planet. So let's go ahead and check out its moons, which are right here. So we have a warm Oceania. Ooh, and it's nice and illuminated on the backside because of the planet there. I can't really land on it, but I can kind of touch down where the water is. So let's do that. And there's our gas giant just sitting there, and we're kind of just sitting on the water. Ooh, a little bit shiny. I wonder if that's a reflection of the gas giant. Probably is. And really, really cool view from here. Looks very nice. We're not orbiting exactly with the rings based on like the fact that that's not actually being blocked out by the front side of the rings right here. So yeah. Let's check out the desert, which we can actually land on. And let's just go ahead and land right on it. So it has a super thick atmosphere. Whether or not we can see the gas giant, I'd be surprised. There it is. So the atmospheric pressure is 27 atmospheres, so very, very thick. The surface temperature is 154 degrees Celsius. The greenhouse effect is 32 degrees. The atmospheric composition is CO2, sulfur dioxide, and water, H2O. So that kind of says that this is actually a major greenhouse planet, and it's probably transitioning to a runaway greenhouse effect unless this is pretty much all it has. It has a diameter of 9,300 kilometers, so 73% of that of Earth. Not too big. It's actually about three-fourths the size of Earth. The semi-major axis from the gas giant there is 667,000 kilometers. The rotational and orbital period, it's tidally locked with the gas giant, is actually 1 day. 24 hours. Very cool. So, that's actually pretty interesting. 1 day on this planet is actually 1 day, or close to 1 day on Earth. Not exactly. Very nice. So, he mentioned a colorful galaxy. Let's see if we can see that. Oh yeah, it's actually... Okay. Oh wow, so it's actually like yellow in the center, but we got like kind of a purple galaxy going on. Let's go ahead and pan out and check that out. Oh, okay. So... Oh, very nice. Check out how these rings generated. Or not the rings, but the dust clouds on the galaxy. So you kind of just have this clear region right here. Very nice. And then you can kind of escape it by going into like the arcs of the galaxy here. On a two-dimensional plane, that's actually really cool. How you can just kind of fly through. Yeah, very nice little spiral galaxy. Whenever I see this, I think like it was an actual image taken from like a telescope, like Hubble or something like that, and then was kind of just slapped into the game with like all the compression artifacting and stuff happening. It's almost what that looks like. But who knows, the brighter regions could be like birth of new stars and other things like that. Heated dust clouds, nebulas, things that are just, you know, systems actually forming. Just don't really know. But it's very cool looking. And here's the center cluster of the galaxy. No, wait. No, that's not. Is that the center cluster? Nope. Oh, wait, yeah, it is. And here we go, straight to the black hole. Hello. Oh, that literally crashed the game. It's kind of annoying because I used to be able to do that no problem and when it crashed the game, but I don't know, it just likes crashing now. Maybe the game's cache is getting too big, I don't know. Maybe I'll try clearing that. Anyways, the next suggestion is from Boba Fett, so let me go ahead and get that copy pasted real quick. Planetary. Okay, so we're back where we started. Is this what the ID is supposed to look like? Oh, no. Never mind. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. Part of your message. So we have some beautiful kind of separated orange rings on this green gas giant. Really nice. And he says there are 2 other planets with life in this system. Just kind of slow down here. Just get a nice little detail of these rings. Very cool looking. And there's our gas giant, which also has kind of an orangish atmosphere on the outside, as you can see. Very nice. Let's go ahead and click on this, and... Ooh, that is not the gas giant we are orbiting around. I assume this... Oh, you're just saying there's 2 planets with life in the system. Okay. Oh, in fact, this actually has life. It has aerial life. Very cool. And it has this kind of pink desert moon, if that's noteworthy. Hello, pink desert moon. You're quite pink and deserty and moon-like. It was actually a very, very vibrant hot pink. The terrain itself is actually kind of orange, though. Okay, so let's check out some of those other planets with life. So this one I assume is just aerial life. It is a cold ice giant with life. Ooh, kind of a cool color going on there. Does it have any moons? No, it doesn't. So, very nice. The rings just appear to be black. They're not actually illuminated at all. And then we have a Terra with life. Ooh, and check out those nebulas in the background. Very nice. Are we actually in the Milky Way galaxy? I think so. Yeah, we are. So, that's why the nebulas actually look good. I think they're actually named nebulas. In fact, I think that's Barnard's Loop. I think we're just looking at it from a different angle. I could be wrong. Oh yeah, it certainly is. There's a flame nebula right there. There's Orion, and there's that one blue one that I keep forgetting the name of, because it's NGC Nebula, without an actual name. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out this world. So we have an active volcano that I can immediately see. Just fix our rotation here. And here we are. So, very active volcano, and it's actually kind of blended really nicely with these nice eroded hills here. As volcanoes should always generate 200% of the time. So we got the sedimentary rock texture with actually the sand texture kind of overmapping it. It's interesting. Nice eroded hills here. Very cool looking. Kind of got the cracked rocks going on. And I assume this is probably just grass. Looks like the grass texture blended in with something else. And we are very, very close to the star. In fact, let's go ahead and back out and get this planet selected. There we go. Oh, wow. Kind of a nice greenish blue atmosphere as well. The planet there, or the star there, must be a red dwarf, because this is actually not very warm. I mean, it's quite warm to our standards. It's at 84 degrees Celsius. Nitrogen, CO2, and oxygen, so actually very similar to Earth, composition-wise, atmospheric composition-wise. Marine and terrestrial life. 3 moons. ESI of 80%. The diameter is 9,342 kilometers, so 73% of that of Earth. We have something going on there. Oh, it's an asteroid. That's our moon. And it's actually moving because I have time moving, apparently. Let's pause that. And there's a gas giant just far out there. And there's another gas giant. So just 2 gas giants just kind of visible from our sky. Very nice. Over here, it looks like we have some canyons. Very nicely generated canyons as well. Got like the canyons, and then we also have like hills on top of them. So that's really awesome looking. Got some more, I don't know, I guess those might be hills. No, it's just more canyon terrain. Okay. Kind of got like a line of hills going on here. Let's go and let those render a little bit. So we got some very nice looking hills here. Oh wow, then we have these really tall ones. Check that out, that's really cool. Got a nice little flat area here. Lovely view. So let's go ahead and check out the dark side of the planet. Ooh, lagging quite a bit. Probably just because I sat there rendering all those hills. Here we go. Let's go to this dark side right over here. Right where it's setting. Ooh, a lovely pink sunset. And can we see... We can see the Milky Way galaxy kind of fade into the night here. Let's see if we can see Barnard's Loop from the dark side of the planet. No, Barnard's Loop would be on that side. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, we could actually kind of see the nearby nebulas and stuff. Very cool. See if we can get a nice view of the Orion Nebula, which I think was right over here. That's the Flame Nebula, isn't it? Yeah, it's the Flame Nebula. Orion was... Where was Orion? Orion should be right next to it. I can't seem to find it. Orion, where are you? Let's get out of the atmosphere of the planet. There's Orion, right above it. So there's Orion Nebula. You can see some of the kind of brighter stars that are like in the center of it. The Orionus stars. And over here we have that NGC Nebula. And what's this? Nebula M78. Let's go ahead and pay a visit to that real quick. Just because that looks kind of cool. Like the kind of dark clouds are in it. What's this right beside it? Same thing? Probably the same thing. Can't seem to select it though. Yeah, that's part of M78. Very cool. So the next one is from Boba Fett, and it says, an amazing tidally locked planet with life and 3 asteroid moons. And here we go. No, it didn't actually work. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take a guess and say you mistyped it right there at the beginning, assuming by your previous ID, and there should be a 4 right here. Temperate Terra with life. Ah, nailed it. Okay, so tidally locked, as he's mentioned. Half thawed. It's kind of a snowball world, but it's a half snowball world. And it is a Terra, so we should be able to find some land. Ah, right over here. Okay, there's our life texture. It looks like it's like kind of, oh no, is that our life texture? It might just be dirt. Might just be looking at dirt. This might be our life texture, though. Whatever the hell that is. Well, no, that's like gravel texture. Oh, it's marine life. Okay, never mind. We're not actually going to see a, like, kind of, life texture. Because it's all in the water. There's our parent star, which I think is an orange dwarf? Red dwarf. Ah, I keep getting that correct. It's hard to tell just based on looks. So we have like a snowy volcano here. Very cool. And this cloud layer is super low to the ground. Of course, the atmosphere is also not that thick. It's actually half of that of Earth. CO2, nitrogen, oxygen, and sulfur dioxide. So actually very similar to Earth atmosphere. And very, very hilly terrain over here. It's just very bumpy, as you can see. It does actually have like a little bit of erosion going on with these hills. Not too much. I can kind of see it though. Where it looks kind of weathered, like right here, for example. So I'd go ahead and go back to the snowy hills. Yeah, these ones are all eroded, as you can see. Got these nice like lines going down them. View, where's our star at? Am I past the sunset? Possibly. Let's go ahead and hit play and just watch this thing rotate and watch the clouds just kind of go around. There we go. We have that beautiful view of the Milky Way galaxy there. Let's just decrease our field of view, but make this a center object, and we can kind of see it just kind of, I don't know, lens around the planet because of the field of view distortion. You can see the asteroid moons just flinging by. There's a nebula there in the background. Very cool. And you can see there's 2 cloud layers. You can see the bands of clouds just kind of overlap each other as it rotates around. Very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and fix everything here. Let's get the rotation centered. So, the next suggestion is from Derp Sauce Gaming, it looks like. Unless I'm missing something here. No, but it's definitely from Derp Sauce Gaming. He says, it is a desert around a red gas giant. So let's go ahead and check that out. Ah, no, I messed up. There we go. And here we go. Hot desert. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, so we have like a kind of a little Mars-like desert world. Let's go ahead and just smack right into that. Not really much of an atmosphere going on. Super thin atmosphere. And there is our red gas giant, and there's our parent star. So, very cool. Man, just yawned. We're actually sitting at a very hot temperature, 341 degrees Celsius, so very warm. It's got a lot of atmospheric compositions, but there's just not really much atmosphere. It's basically nothing. I guess kind of like Mars. The orbital period around this gas giant is 21 hours. It sits at a diameter of 8,874 kilometers, so actually quite a bit smaller than our Earth, but that's kind of expected. It is just a small desert moon. And obviously not a very high ESI. Let's go ahead and check out this red gas giant that it's actually orbiting around. Where did that go? I think I just lost it. There it is. I don't know how you lose a gas giant, but I lost it for a moment there. So we have kind of a nice pinkish red going on. Not really so much of a red. Kind of a, not really maroon either. But a very cool red mixed in with like a bit of orange, it looks like, and some white bands going across. And is there any large storms that are immediately visible? I don't think so. But normally these kind of gas giants do have like a pretty big storm though. Nonetheless, very cool. Curious about something. Okay. Diameter. I believe that is solar masses right there, though, or that is solar masses. But I think that's on a solar scale there, while planets, smaller terrestrial worlds, are possibly just based on... No, I don't know what that measurement is right there. So I'm clicking on a dwarf moon. It's just an asteroid. If I click on a terrestrial world like this one... Okay, so that's 74% of the Earth. So that means this gas giant right here is 12 times the size of Earth. Wouldn't that make it a not very big gas giant at all? I guess so, because that moon is not really too big in comparison. No. No, something seems off by that. Because that's... Yeah, I don't know what that is right there. D-O. Or D and whatever that symbol is. Yeah, if you guys know what that is, or can help me understand that, please leave it in the comments below. But we have a warm Terra with life in this system, it looks like, so let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, so very, very cloudy. And it's just marine life, so we're not actually going to be able to see it. Wow, that is really cloudy. I can't even see the terrain. Spot some terrain through this. Alright, let's just... There we go. Okay, so this is basically an Oceania. The only reason why it's actually a Terra is because of probably these small volcanoes here that are actually peeking out. Wait, is that actually a volcano? Yeah, it is a volcano. Halted with craters as well. Right in the ocean. But we do have... just see one continent, really. That is this one. Right into that. We do have some really nicely eroded hill terrain, though. Kind of has like the desert sand texture, and kind of some cracked earth going on here. I wonder if there's actually a larger continent, possibly on the darker side of the planet. Let's go ahead and turn up the ambient lighting here. only continent that I see on this planet is basically an Oceania, excluding the volcanoes and that, really. Super interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that. Let's go ahead and get the clouds back on. That's a very odd world. Let's go ahead and touch down with the clouds on and just get an idea what the sky looks like. Oh yeah, you can barely see anything through these clouds anyways. You can see the star there, it's just big and bright in the sky. Okay, so the next one from Derpsaw's game is HIP 14178, and he wants me to visit the 4th and 5th planets. The 4th is 2 moon, and the 5th is a desert with life, so let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, so 4th is this gas giant here, which has aerial. No, actually it doesn't have aerial life. In fact, it actually has... Ooh, 2 moons with life. Okay. So this one's just an Oceania. We can't really see much here. You can see how the planet kind of just shines on the back of this planet, though. And there's the night sky right there, this small little band. Yeah, there's nowhere really to land on this. I mean, we could probably touch down maybe right here and kind of get a nice view of the star and the planet. Ooh, really, really dark water. And there's our planet, and over there is not quite our star. There is our star. And it has a nice little pink sunset. So, huge water world. The next one is a Terra with life. Again, marine life. So, we're not actually going to be able to see any of the life on this planet. Let's go ahead and just touch down right here. So, kind of some nice rounded hills, it looks like. And I think a volcano over here. Definitely active. Kind of degenerated with a nice cone shape, but I really like how the sides of this volcano generated down at the base of it. It's not just a perfect cone, it actually has like some really nice little details going on. In fact, let's just land right here. Yeah, that's very cool. I really like the way this volcano looks. Molten lava in there. You can kind of see the ash texture. Got a little river going on over here. And of course, nope, I was going to say, we can't actually see the life textures at all. Like a weird gravel texture going on here. That looks like tilled dirt almost, and that looks like possibly a rock surface. I don't know. It's funny that there's like no life on this planet, but the texture they use for the rocks, that's clearly like some moss right there growing on a rock. That was just kind of clipped out in the texture. Like that is very obviously like moss right there. So yeah, very cool. And a very nice looking planet. The dark side of the planet looks very nice as well, because we actually have... Where is it? Where'd it go? Is it behind this hill? Love the blue clouds. The blue clouds look very nice. Ah, there it is. Our huge gas giant just sitting up there. Let's just sit inside this molten volcano real quick and just look up at the night sky. Very beautiful. Ooh, is that a metallic cloud right there that I see? That certainly is. And there's the other one. So you can see the galaxy is sitting there in the background. There's a Milky Way galaxy. You can only see the dark side of the band. I think the brighter side's on the other side. And yeah, these blue clouds just look absolutely beautiful at night. Hey, very nice view, I'd say. Oh, look at that. There's actually a lot of volcanoes here. There's Magellanic Clouds. Yeah, that is a very cool looking view. Oh, and this one's got like the kind of nice detail layer at the bottom of the volcano as well. Very nice. I hope this is not coming out too dark in the video. Let's just go ahead and back out of there. So yeah, the active volcanoes on that planet actually generated really, really nicely. So let's check out the, let's click on the star here. Got the, no wait, that's, okay, that's weird. Okay, let's just, do this. There we go. Let's check out this, cold desert with life. Zerg life form, and look at that huge... Is this a crater or is this just snow? We're sitting at negative 89 degrees Celsius. Is this snow? Okay, no, actually, wait. That might be snow. Actually, this might just be a huge crater. I'm not too sure. We do have snow caps on these little volcanoes here, which this is an incredibly rounded dome-shaped volcano. Like, look at this thing. Look at how like flat that is. It's like a pancake. Looking pancake volcano, I guess. There's a crater right there, it looks like. Yep, looks like we got another crater. So I think we're sitting in a huge crater. Possibly. I think that's what that is. Let's go ahead and check out some of the life textures, which would probably be this dark purple right over here. So we're going to be landing on some hills, it looks like. Or some canyon terrain, I can't really tell. No, that's definitely hills. Really jagged, spiky hills. And is that our life texture? I do think so. Yeah, that looks like life to me. I don't know what kind of life, but it looks like life. Ooh, the rings actually are very, very bright from the atmosphere, too. As viewed from the atmosphere, I mean. Yeah, there's our life texture. It's got that Zerg creep going on. Let's go somewhere where the purple is a little bit lighter, like right over here. And, yeah, it's got that other texture. I don't have the slightest idea of what this stuff is. So, it's just Zerg creep. And you can just imagine all the Hydralisks, Ultralisks, Zerglings, Defilers, other things just burrowed around here. Possibly even some lurkers. Depending on if they went with that evolutionary chain. Not sure. So, we got 2 suggestions from Infrared, and let's go ahead and check them out. He says, dark and pretty Titan. Looks the best with real planet brightness. Actually, I want to see this planet with real planet brightness. Will it actually look any different? It's quite far from that star, it looks like. Oh yeah, that got quite a bit dimmer. Okay. Let's just leave that on, because it looks like I'm going to a Titan. And here we go. Okay, so we're next to this Titan here, which is very, very dim. As is expected with a Titan. Damn, I'm tired. I'm sorry. It's horrible. Okay, so we have some orangish clouds going on. I see a volcano here. That is not lava. I don't know what that is. It's spewing out something. Looks like mud or something like that. Just a lot of mud. It's weird. The atmospheric composition looks like it's nitrogen and carbon monoxide, I believe. And yeah, we just have like these snow layers. I don't know what that would actually consist of. Possibly nitrogen, frozen nitrogen. It'd have to be like nearly a vacuum though for that to actually happen. Which the atmospheric pressure is sitting at 57% of that. Okay, so I'm back. I have turned off real planet brightness on this Titan. I'm still on the same Titan. Yeah, for some reason my recording just completely, like OBS crapped out that time. I don't know what's going on with that at all. That's kind of confusing. But everything just wants to crash on me now. I don't know why. But nonetheless, go ahead and continue on from where I left off. I turned off real planet brightness to kind of see what the life texture was. And it looks like it's actually the same life texture as the, what was that, Terra? Or was it a desert? It looks like that desert that we just visited. Kind of the same kind of Zerg creep going on. But let's check out some of those hills and see what the what was growing on the side of them. Because they were kind of greenish. No, I think that's just the color of the hills. What kind of green with the real planet brightness on, though? Got kind of that weird artifacting going on there with the texture. That's a really cool little Titan world. Kind of have the Zerg life forms going on. And it looks like we have, like, oh yeah, just a lot of, like, snow plains and stuff as well. Oh, and there's a shadow from our ring, it looks like. Yeah, that certainly is. Very nice looking. Kind of a really dark ring. Oh, no, wait, that's not the ring, that's the shadow, that's right. There is the ring. So, yeah, just kind of a black ring, it looks like. I don't think there's any color to it. Check out the next planet from infrared, and he says it is a Terra in a cool nebula, so let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, so we got a nice red nebula. This is actually pretty common with the randomly generated ones. And what galaxy is that? That looks like Andromeda's texture. That is Andromeda, okay. Here's our Terra. The shadow's been casted that way, so... oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, rings have kind of like a nice purplish color, then it fades off to a blue and purple color, and then it kind of goes to green and orange. So kind of got a little spectrum, like, slash rainbow ring system going on here, and here's a little asteroid. Hello, little asteroid. And, well, let's just go ahead and touch down on this planet. It was a desert, but it looks like it's just been smacked with a bunch of asteroids. There's a shoreline there, which has actually worked its way down to sand, so it is like a sandy beach, not just rough rocks or anything. Of course, that's giving the terrain generation in this game a little bit too much credit. So this crater has actually been here quite a while, and has actually eroded the kind of hillside here, and actually has sand right there on the shore, so very cool. Really nice little winded sand effect as well. Also kind of proceeds on into the grass, which it does look like it's just using the simple grass texture for the terrain. Very cool. And we have like these kind of rounded hills, which also appear to have sand as well. And we have like a couple small mountains here. Kind of tried to generate a rock face, but didn't really manage to do that there. Let's go ahead and back out and see if we can find like a different type of hill. Looks like a lot of sand and grass on this world. A little bit different. Oh yeah, we got kind of some short eroded hills, or this might even be canyon terrain. But again, it's kind of continuing on with like the sand and grass. Wonder if there's something different like further away on the planet. Try over here. What's this dark stuff? Okay, now we're getting a little bit of rocks and kind of tall eroded hills. And it looks like it's still continuing with the sand. So yeah, this looks like it was supposed to kind of be a desert world, but it did actually generate water, making it a Terra. The composition is oxygen and CO2, so I can only assume there's water. And you can kind of see that the generation there on the hill texture kind of messed up slightly. And this is a pretty cool little spot. Oh wait, we have a different life texture going on here, I think. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it's different, so that's kind of cool. Oh wow, beautiful view of a ring there. Can't really see the, we're in a nebula, right? You can't really see the nebula from here. No. That's like the center point of the nebula, so you can't quite see that through the atmosphere. Let's go ahead and move on to a dark area of the terrain. And see if we could actually get a good glimpse at our nebula. So here's the sunset. You can see the Andromeda galaxy there. Not the Milky Way. Our beautiful rainbow. It's just a giant rainbow in the sky. It's actually our rings. And you can see a shadow of the planet being casted across the ring right here. Very nice. And wow, ain't that just a lovely view. Let's back up right here. Try to get the sun right there. Oh yeah, check that out. Maybe like that. How's that? possibly thumbnail worthy. I think so. So let's go ahead and move on to our next world, which is suggested by somebody new. I've not seen that name before. Emra Cole? Emra Cole. Emra Cool? I can't pronounce that very well. I think Emra Cole. I can't really tell though. But it says an interesting rogue planet and its moon. So let's go ahead and check that out. And now, since this is a rogue planet, it's probably going to be very, very dim, if not visible at all. And here we go. Scorched Desert. Oh, look at that. Down here. This is a gas giant. It's not really a giant, it's actually the size of this terrestrial world here. So, this is a binary system, as you can tell. In fact, if you back out, it actually detects them as hot planets. You can tell by the brightness. But what's going on here is, well, tidal pull. They're basically tugging on each other and warming each other up. This one is negative. Whoa. Oh, no. That's not what's going on. This is a gas giant. They have more mass than this. Yeah, so this has more mass. This is a moon. Possibly. Might be dual planetary because of distance. So it's dual planetary. A little bit of odd orbit. Okay, so we kind of have a dual planetary system going on here. Because of their mass, it kind of makes a weird orbit. If I hit play, we can kind of see as they rotate around each other. They actually do have kind of a close point in the orbit right there. Very cool. I assume that's probably, let's just pause it right here. So when they're really, really close to each other. The reason why this is being illuminated is because I don't have real planet brightness on. So if I turn that on, it's just going to turn black as well. Actually, it's still kind of glowing a little bit. But that's because this is incredibly hot. This desert here. This is pulling on this planet with such force that it's actually causing tidal heating and actually warming up this desert. And that is the reason why you see this kind of red glow. It's being casted by the desert. And you can actually watch, if we track this planet, center this object, and track object, we will see as it rotates around that the desert is what's actually illuminating the light on it. You see the red light actually follows this desert around. Now, if you guys have seen my previous videos, you've already seen this phenomenon, but I know a lot of you guys are actually new to my videos, so I figured I'd just show it off. So you can see as the glow just kind of rotates around this world. Of course, I can also just turn up the ambient lighting so we can actually get a good idea of what this desert actually looks like. So let's go ahead and do that. And there's our gas giant world, and let's just pause time, stop tracking it. Let's check out this desert, which also, on top of the tidal heating, appears to be kind of a runaway greenhouse effect. It actually has 409 atmospheres of pressure, so that's also what's also causing it to be very, very warm. Is not only does it have that, but it's also maintaining the heat. Now this is a bug in the game, because even if you have this tidal heating, it should not be able to retain the heat like this. It shouldn't be able to basically form the greenhouse effect, because the greenhouse effect is being caused by, let's say, a star actually basically illuminating the planet and its solar energy actually warming the planet, and it just kind of bouncing around. In this case, it's just being warmed entirely from the inside, and that's what's going on. So I don't think the greenhouse gases would actually have a significant effect on this, but it does appear to actually retain its heat. I could be completely incorrect about that, though. This is actually a cyclone right here, a little hurricane. You can see the eye of the storm, but the entire cloud layer is just basically covering the entire planet. And if we touch down on it, you can't really see anything because the atmosphere is just way too thick. So, no real visual on anything. And it's kind of just a standard desert world. It's actually very, very dark here. And you can imagine if I were to turn off the ambient lighting, it would just be pitch black. And it looks like we have 3 different cloud layers. Yeah, we do. So that's essentially what's going on here. But nonetheless, very, very cool little, I guess, dual planetary, rogue dual planetary system thing. And it's pretty cool that they're actually illuminating each other. That means there's actually a possibility that something like this could even have life on it. But let's go ahead and reset our ambient lighting and let's check out the next suggestion. The next suggestion is from Swagger Jagger, and he wants me to visit Gliese 581C. And Jack Morgan 101 looks like he corrected him, so I'm going to go try to paste Jack Morgan's ID in there. Okay. No, that's not loading. Is this the same one I tried? Oh, wait, there it is. Maybe that. Looks like it has a space there. Yeah, this is the correct ID, I guess. Let's go ahead and jump over to this world. Hot Oceania. We have a huge storm here. And we're in the Milky Way galaxy, it appears. And what's our parent star? A little red dwarf, the most common stars in our universe. So we have this little tidally locked Oceania. Now, its discovery method was radial velocity. Discovered in 2007. I don't know what it takes to actually suspect that this world would be an Oceania, or if the game just wanted it to be an Oceania. But I guess it was some small terrestrial world that was just kind of detected. I believe radial velocity is the planet kind of orbiting around, and basically the way we kind of approximate it is either it's blocking out its light or it's basically influence on the star. It's not direct imaging where we actually see the planet. But there's not really too much to see here. I don't think we could actually land on this planet anywhere other than just dropping down right into the ocean. Just like so. Clouds just kind of striping through the sky, and there is our red dwarf parent star. If I hit play here, see the storm just pass by. And yeah, it's a very, very hot world. It's actually 127 degrees Celsius. Very, very cool. Let's get a view of that storm just rotating around from the outside. You know, it's hard to tell that the storm's actually rotating. You think the planet's just rotating. Because there's no terrain to actually reference. It looks like it does have two cloud layers, so let's go ahead and speed up time a little bit, and let's rotate with the object. There we go. Yeah, you can see the two cloud layers just kind of blending across each other. Very cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Zircon X, and he says, same cluster as the last suggestion, different galaxy. What? Same cluster. Different galaxy? I don't know what that means. Oh, same galactic cluster. Oh, you're the one who suggested a bunch of different, like, okay, in that one galactic cluster, there was, like, tons of galaxies in that super cluster. I know what you're talking about. Okay, that's a pretty cool looking world. So we have a huge polar cap, and what is that? What is that? What's going on here? Is that a cloud? Is that just clouds? What is this shiny stuff? Why is it so yellow? That's the atmosphere. Looks like you're just landing in a ton of like noxious mustard gas or something like that. That is weird. Just got a crater filled with some type of terrible gas. Even like fades off to a green effect on the edge of it. Anyways, we got some nice eroded, like kind of frozen hills here. Just huge ice sheets and stuff. There's one of the galaxies. In fact, I think I recall seeing that galaxy yesterday. Here's a huge crack in the ice, possibly just a river that was trying to generate. Completely snow-covered volcano. It's our aurora effect, and here we go. Here's our terrestrial section of the planet. Or, not our terrestrial section, but life-bearing section of the planet. Okay, so it looks like we have the grass texture, possibly. Mixed in with whatever that is. Kind of a top of a rainforest or something. Jungle. Forest. Thick forest. Moss. Don't know, it's just too low resolution to really tell. Winded sand, kind of overlapping some of the grass here. Oh wow, this is kind of interesting looking. Cool. Just have a lot of winded sand just kind of covering varying thickness layers of the grass texture. Makes it look very natural though. I mean, that's really cool looking. Like looking down at the edge of a desert from like a satellite image or from like a plane or something, and it's just kind of transitioning into like a greenery regions or something like that. It's really cool. It actually does kind of resemble a really natural desert. Maybe like a dry field or something during the winter, like as it's transitioning to winter or like to spring or whatever. It's getting rid of all that dry grass and all this green stuff. It's just kind of growing in to replace all the dead stuff. Got some really, really lovely eroded hills here. They look very nice. Let's go ahead and turn off the orbit map so we don't have these obnoxious lines in the sky. And we just kind of have this super dim atmosphere. In fact, we are sitting at distance of 1.28 astronomical units away, and that is a yellow dwarf, just like our sun. This reselected and touch back down right here. Smack. Okay, so let's see. Let's turn on the real planet brightness and see how dim this actually is. Oh, that's probably why it's so dim. It's because I do have it on. Actually, no, that didn't vary very much at all. Atmospheric composition is CO2 and oxygen. The atmospheric pressure is 13% of that of Earth. So maybe that's just it. It has a super thin atmosphere, so not really too much is being illuminated or blocked out. The atmosphere is not really illuminated by the star. It's a quite cold world. It's actually sitting at negative 18 degrees Celsius. If that star, assuming it's probably around the similar size and energy as our current star, yeah, sitting a little bit further like this with a thinner atmosphere is going to make it much colder. But a really cool looking world nonetheless. Get another zoom out shot of that because it really looked cool from the outside. It's just really nicely generated. You can just see these huge craters and just like meteors that have smacked into the planet. You see one here that's kind of ejected some land upwards and outwards, kind of. Yeah, and you can see that there's like life that has grown on it. Got a couple volcanoes bearing life out in the ocean as well. Bunch of islands. The diameter of this planet is actually very, very close to our very own Earth. And that galaxy there just looks very awesome in the night sky. You can see galaxies everywhere. Every direction you look, there's just more and more galaxies. Just because it's such a dense cluster. It's really cool. And we're actually sitting up. We're not even in the galaxy, really. Here is our aurora effect. So let's go ahead and land here. You can see this red haze from where the sun was. And there's kind of a large moon, it looks like. Just a temperate Selena. And here's our aurora. Yes, let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is again from Zircon X. He says, Jewel at the end of the universe. So, we got a mystery planet here. What's it going to be? Probably a Terra? That'd be my guess. Ah, warm Terra with life at the edge of the universe. Organic, multicellular, marine, and terrestrial. The diameter of this planet is 6,900 kilometers, so actually quite a bit smaller than Earth, about half of Earth. Actually 54% of the size of Earth. The composition is CO2 and oxygen. The atmosphere is actually pretty thin, 23% of that of Earth. The temperature is 53 degrees Celsius, so it must be quite close to its star. It looks like it. That looks like a yellow dwarf. It certainly is. We have a greenhouse effect of 2 degrees, 5 moons, and a semi-major axis of 68 astronomical, or 6.8. 0.68 astronomical units. So we're about 70% of the distance of Earth to the Sun. So we're actually quite close to the yellow dwarf, which is probably making the hot temperature, even though the atmosphere is quite a bit thinner. Nice kind of rounded hills going on here. In the sunset of the planet, though, which is kind of pinkish. So, very cool. +1 for the pink sunset. You see the hills are kind of plateauing off into kind of a grassy plain, it looks like. Can't really see it, though. Let's go ahead and get into a more illuminated area. Ooh, it's actually really hard to see on this planet. There's some clouds kind of flying over an ocean. Ah, here we go. There we go. That looks like a live texture. So, this looks like that treetop texture, but it looks inverted. Like the yellow parts are supposed to be like the green treetops, and the green parts are supposed to be just like shadows or something. Is what this almost looks like. Very interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that generate like that before. Over here we have something going on. That looks like trees on a hillside or something like that, possibly. Definitely looks like trees. Kind of got some purple mixed in there, which is very odd. This is incredibly, for a thin atmosphere, this is incredibly thick looking. Edge of the universe. There's our huge, very huge Selena. There is a ice-covered volcano. Let's go ahead and touch down next to it. Ooh, and that's a really nice view of that Selena. Very, very bright in the sky. And there's our parent star. Say, I think our moon looks big in our night sky. Look at that thing. That's illuminating this planet very, very well. What have I done? I was just trying to go to it and it just freaked out. But yeah, look how close that moon is. You'd expect that this planet would have some very, very big tides. That close. What's going on here? Oh, whoa. Check that out. Let's just slow down speed a little bit and let's kind of fly out of the atmosphere. Look at that transition. As the sun actually goes through the sunset. Very cool. Anyways, really nice Terra. If we look at it from the outside, it's actually very, very green and blue. Not really much of a mix of colors. Yeah, it doesn't really have any like dark areas. It's just like a very, very I don't know what to say. Desaturated Terra. It's mostly because of the atmosphere. I assume if I turn off the atmosphere here, it'll look very nice. Yeah, there we go. Now that's a lot more vibrant looking. Yeah, it's mostly to do with the atmosphere. The atmosphere kind of clouds it up a lot. It looks like a very, very foggy day, kind of. Just across the entire planet. But, very cool world. Let's go ahead and check out the last suggestion, and that is from... Oh, man. Farganiac's mandatory last name. Oh, man. I think I understand your username. Like, you're signing into websites, and they want your last name to be in your fucking username, and yeah, that's just annoying. Anyways, let's go and check out your world, and it is a temperate Terra with life. Probably much, much further away than this world. Let's get there faster. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is a Terra, but it's really, really dark. Do I still have the atmospheres off? No, I don't. Oh, wow. Just a very, very dark Terra, and I don't even think I have real planet brightness on yet. Let's turn that on. Oh, I do have it on. That's probably why. That didn't really do much. Let's go ahead and just slow down here. Wow, this is very, very detailed looking. There's a shiny ring. That star. Why is that shining so much? Oh, no, it's just the color of the ring. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and land near one of these, like, little mountain ranges. Super low-lying cloud layer, looks like. And some lovely eroded hills with sedimentary rocks, it looks like. Oh, yeah, and it's kind of got a really rough, coarse-looking texture to the rock face. The texture used here looks like either moss or... yeah, it looks like moss. Just kind of some mossy ground or something like that. Looks like it's blended with a grass texture, possibly. Like, that looks like blades of grass. Shining in the background. The cloud layer is super low. It doesn't take much to actually get above it. Most of these hills are actually peaking above the cloud layer. Water? No, that's actually more grass. No, that's something different. That's... okay, that's a satellite image of trees. I could definitely see that right now. Like, you got the dirt here, and you got treetops everywhere. Okay, that's definitely a satellite image of some trees. What's this? That also looks like treetops. It just kind of looks stretched. That looks like the gravel texture. It's just green. Very nice. Oh, and that kind of purple atmosphere looks very, very cool. Is that because we're actually getting towards the sunset? No, not really. There's a moon there. I wonder if we could actually get that to eclipse. Eclipse. Oh, it is eclipsing. Okay. Let's go ahead and touch down where this eclipse is. Here's a huge, not really solar eclipse, but yeah, basically solar eclipse. Check that out. Got this huge purple glow, purple and blue glow as the moon blocks it out. If you guys want to see a solar eclipse, I do actually have a video on that. I uploaded it like a couple weeks ago. Shows the, I think, 2017 solar eclipse. It's very nice. And yeah, there's not too much to say about this world, other than it's just really, really detailed and really beautiful. I can't stop looking at it. I'm actually going to bookmark this one, just because that's really nice. Anyways, let's go ahead and zoom out here. And yeah, the size of the planet is actually very similar to Earth, a little bit bigger, 13,000 kilometers. Temperature is negative 13 degrees Celsius, so it's actually a very cold world. 2.3 atmospheres of pressure, so a little bit of a high pressure going on. Semi-major axis of 0.74, which the parent star thinks is just an orange dwarf anyways. Okay. It has an ESI of 92%, so that's actually pretty high on the ESI scale. Very cool. Well, I think this is the last suggestion for today. Let me just double check real quick. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Anyways, if you guys like the video, please leave it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe. It really does help. And I will see you guys. Oh wow, that's spinning fast. And I'll see you in the next one.